Yo, what's going on, guys? And we're going to continue doing this series of the top players at each position. Today, we're going to do wings, forwards. As you guys know, this is a position that, the NBA is more and more positionless. So I know you guys are going to say that it could go either way. But let's just get into it. I want to hear your thoughts. What is your top 5 small forwards in this draft? Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me hear your ranking. Let's get right into it. And yes, Risacher, right? Okay, is it Risacher or Risacher? Risacher. I've heard Risacher or Risacher. Tell me down below. I just butchered it, but Zaccharie Risacher or Risacher? Tell me which one. Is it a say or is it a shay at the end? Now, with Zaccharie, he's a guy that 6'10". He's massive, that movement shooting, a guy who can lift the ball on the deck a little bit, decent rebounder for his position, and he has the ability to knock down the catch and shoot. He can go in NBA rotation day one as a three-point shooter, as a floor spacer, combo forward, play the 3 or the 4. And he can attack closeouts off the dribble. I don't think you really want him doing that at the NBA level. I think when you look at him, he's going to be a guy who's going to go 1 through 3. He's probably more of a 3-and-D caliber guy than maybe a two-way wing that's a dominant, all-star, all-NBA. I think, a 3-and-D guy who's a fringe all-star is a good comp. But let's get into the next guy, and that's going to be Mr. Yes, you heard it, Cody Williams. And Cody's a fun guy because Cody is kind of somebody that when you watch him, 6'8", he doesn't really play like his brother. I personally think he's very similar to Patrick Williams, maybe on a slender frame, but he's going to be that guy. Maybe not a hyper-efficient, low-volume shooter from 3 who can finish plays around the rim in transition as a slasher, but he's a really good defender 1 through 4. I just think with him, really high floor, but the ceiling might not be as high as we all initially anticipated, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that just might be the case. So let me hear your thoughts on that. Now let's get to 3, and that's Ron Holland. I'm going to take a sip of coffee right here. Yeah, Ron Holland. He's a guy that's been compared to Gerald Wallace, and he's really fun. He was forced to be a number 1 option on the G League Ignite squad, and that's just not who he is. He probably is a 4th option, maybe a 5th option on a championship team. On a bad team, it's probably 2nd or 3rd. Maybe he's better than that, and he can get there if his 3-point shot develops. But this guy is a scrappy dude. He loves the rebound. He loves the hustle. Loves to dive on the floor for those loose balls. And he loves to defend. He's probably the best. Yeah, he's arguably the best defender in this draft class. I put right there. I mean, Ryan Dunn's pretty freaking good, but Ron Holland screams perennial all NBA. I think realistically, he could do. People are saying Gerald Wallace. I realistically could see him. You're looking at this guy and hoping that he could become Jaden McDaniels. That's the thought. Obviously, Jaden's got, I think, an inch on him or 2, but that's the hope. So next guy we're going to go on to is the man by the name of Salon, another combo forward who, for me, I think that combo forwards are really popular this year just because that's the players available. And I really like Tijan. I think he's a guy that at 6'9", very, very similarly framed to Rui Hachimura, but with way more athleticism and moves. I personally think like a gazelle, just so gracefully. 6'9", I've seen 6'10" on some places. Good frame, plays both ends of the floor, just a motor that goes nonstop. And he loves to be physical. He's a guy that's very raw. I think your hope is that he becomes a guy maybe offensively to have a skill set like Tobias Harris while providing, way more defense. He might not be as a thick boy like that, maybe more of a a perimeter game than an interior game like Tobias, but definitely someone I think is very enjoyable to watch. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that one, what you guys think of Tijan Saloon. And now number 5, Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn is a guy right here that I think is really fun because people are going to look at him and be like, oh, dude, he could be like Herb Jones. When Herb Jones, coming out of college, was way more refined as an offensive player, could hit the three-point shot, could dribble, did things. Ryan Dunn, elite shot blocker, 2.5 per game, on-ball defender, like, again, up there with Ron Holland as the best defender in this class. You hope he becomes a 3-and-D guy. I personally, look, the floor is he's either like a Josh Okogie, Isaac Okoro, but bigger at 6'8", but that role where not much offense, man, but damn, is he a good defensive player that he'll stay in the NBA as a rotational guy. Maybe he figures it out offensively. Dream is he either becomes like a Herb Jones, Jaden McDaniels, where can develop a three-point shot and be enough of a 3-and-D guy that he's on the floor as a starter. And again, a perennial all defensive team type guy. I almost said the wrong thing right there. Now, coming in at 6, this is Bobby Klintman. And Bobby Klintman's a guy I like. I think he's more of a power forward center. So I kind of like, I don't agree why. This is also from Hoops Hype. I work at Hoops Hype. Some of our, like, the way we phrase certain players, I don't agree with. But look, he could have been a first-round pick last year. I think he was close to being a second-round pick. And he went to the NBL to help improve his stock, and I think it did. I think he's a first-round pick. The thing is I had a scout tell me he doesn't know what Bobby Klintman is, and he thinks Bobby Klintman doesn't know what the fuck he is. And that's just somebody else's project. And that's the thing. Like, he's stiff, but he moves well for his size. He's got a 7-foot wingspan. He can put the ball on the deck, and he can shoot the three. He's a good weak side shot blocker. The whole thing is he a front court player? Like, his floor, if he's a front court player, is like Trey Lyles, which isn't bad, with more defense. But if he can figure it out, you're like, I don't even know. He's really good. And yeah, so let's go ahead and, guys, I'm just going to power through these right here. And Dylan Jones, he's kind of a Royce O'Neal guy. Little do-everything Swiss Army knife out of Weber State. Then Johnny Furphy's just kind of like Grady Dick, but better rebounding and Australian. You got Melvin Ajinça, who's Alexis Ajinça's cousin or nephew, I mean. He's like Amir Coffey, very similar. I think that's like a great comparison. Keyshawn Johnson's, I think, is more of a power forward. Guy likes to play, you know, has that frame where kind of reminds me of like a 3-point, like, look, if the 3-point shot comes over, which it was 39% last year, I think he can be a small ball 4, maybe like a Grant Williams in the NBA. If it doesn't, dude, he's like a Ron Hollis Jefferson. Terrence Shannon, I like the kid. I think he has a good prospect. He's got a good lawyer for that. I don't know what's going on there, but, you know. And then Justin Edwards, I think, could be like a Trevor Ariza kind of guy. Just 3-and-D, decent rebounder, develops as he gets older and sticks around for a while. Just got, you know, good intangibles. And then Pacom, that diet. Somebody tell me how to say this French guy's name. But, dude, 18 years old, 6'8", can rebound, shoot threes, kind of a floor spacer. I mean, worst case scenario, he's Tony Snell. Best case scenario, you got yourself a guy who everybody wants. But that's it for me. Peace out.